I came to that realisation a couple of weeks ago, actually, that spiritually speaking, I think that the human being is definitely still an infant, basically, in so many ways. And it's hard to describe really what I mean, but just when I look at, spirituality throughout cultures, I just think it just occurred to me a couple of weeks ago now that actually it's all just rather childish and immature. I think we discussed this a little bit on the last transmission, actually.
What do you mean childish? What, spiritual stuff? What?
Spirituality, no, but the way it manifests through culture, i.e. religion, especially the Abrahamic religions, but other religions as well.
No,
it's just completely immature. It's completely immature.
This is one of the reasons why people scoff at New Ageism, is because as well as creating some good ideas, they create a whole load of shit ideas.
They do, yeah. Yeah. So, and I definitely know that one, trust me. But I'm talking about the kind of more prevalent religion, basically, is what I'm aiming it at. And I'm not just talking about Christianity, I'm talking about the other two big ones as well. It's like you really stand back and look at it and you realise that it's no better than a story you tell a kid. And what it's asking you to do is just believe it, follow it, take it as gospel. Yep. And I can't. I'm sorry. It's childish.
Yeah, but this is a common theme though these days. I mean, we don't have to actually fight this cause anymore. It's already happening. People are already.
It is happening, but still, actually, it's still got its grasp on people.
Yeah, but it's really, not going to last.
And it really, when it really troubles me is when I see an otherwise very intelligent person, someone who I would consider to be, bright for all intensive purposes, still believing in this stuff. Like, it's a mentality that I struggle to understand, quite honestly.
No, I don't think we need to worry about it.
Why the questions just are not coming up. What makes them keep hold of it? Personally, I think what makes people keep hold of something like that, especially if they've been indoctrinated to any degree with any of these belief systems, is fear. They're scared of what would happen if they don't. It's so ingrained into them that, the idea of saying, oh, actually, that's not what I believe, deep down, they're scared of doing that. Well, it's I am going to go to hell now. Well, that's it.
That's not just that. There's this fear of the void, fear of the unknown, discarding all your beliefs.
Yeah. That you've had throughout your whole life.
Embrace the void.
Yeah.
Nothing. But the cool thing about nothing is that you can paint whatever you want into it. You can put whatever you want into it, and that's the brilliant thing about nothing, and that's what people are scared of it. Yeah. But really, it has infinite potential.
Yeah, you see, I think that's why my mindset, I was lucky in some respects that my childhood was not overly stuffed full of the kind of religious dogma. I knew of it. I never really took it that seriously. My parents definitely weren't that way inclined. In fact, probably my dad was completely religious in an atheist sense. So I already came from a place that I feel actually was quite balanced to begin with. And I was allowed most of the time, well, I don't know if allowed, but I did most of the time go on my own journey with it. And it's actually made me a very spiritual person, I think. Not a religious one, though.
I don't think we need to fight this battle because it's already happening and it's already transforming, and I don't think it's going in the wrong direction. Where I think perhaps things are lacking is in actual practical substance. How do I actually engage in this spirituality of myself? How do I actually get into it? Because often people want to be told what to do, and as soon as you start telling someone what to do.
Whereas I never liked being told what to do, so that kind of worked in my favour as well, in a strange kind of way.
As soon as you start telling someone what to do, it's up to you to put the brakes on yourself as a teacher and say, no, I'm not going to tell them everything. I'm only going to tell them the bare minimum of what they need so that they can then take over the reins.
Yeah.
And that is a trick. And it's not exactly in favour of the teacher. It doesn't benefit the teacher.
But it's not supposed to, ultimately,
is it? No, it's not supposed to. But you can imagine, you can see why things get corrupt. Because the teacher doesn't want to let go, because it's not in their interest to let go. They want dependency from their followers. They don't want them to be independent of them.
I feel that is still very true in society, though, even now, actually.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I think the main sort of frontier in terms of spiritual, cultural spirit is having enough ideas out there which are easily accessible, that people can actually get into something tangible that they can apply in a practical way.
And I think there are a couple of other points here. Sorry for jumping in, but there are a couple of other points here.
Okay.
I think that the whole way that society and culture is structured through time, I don't know if it was done by a specific group of people, it's just through time, society and the way we live our lives and culture has been structured in such a way that there's always something else to do than actually look at this stuff as well. And what I mean by that is there's always work to be done, there's always distractions, things to watch on the idiot box in the front room, stuff like that.
Or the idiot box in the back room.
Yeah, whatever. So spirituality seems to be something that people, if they do at all, they have designated times for and places for, like churches. This is something that occurred to me. But what people fail to realise or are not told is that actually you can be spiritual all the time if you want.
Yeah.
It's not... See, people equate looking into spirituality as making a really profound effort, and one they're not willing to make, quite frankly. There's just too many other things to do. But for me, I've always found a lot of sacredness and solace in thinking about things from a very spiritual viewpoint. I'm fascinated by it on so many levels, and that shows by the kind of job I've done for a long time. It allowed me to explore that in a way that a lot of other jobs wouldn't, really, I suppose. So I think there's that element as well. Like, spirituality is not considered a priority.
Well, I mean, it probably can't be considered a priority because there are practicalities of life. But having said that, there's always slices of time. There's always slices of time in your day that you can use, and they're there. Like, I have my lunch break, or I have my car journey, or I have my evenings with my beloved wife, where we talk about all sorts of interesting things.
Yeah, but that's just us, and a lot of people don't think like that at all. It's just not part of their lifestyle.
No, but you've heard of free time, right?
Yeah.
Is it free if you have to do something? No, it's not free if you have to do something. Only when you don't have to do anything is it free. So therefore, in these slices of free time, you can actually place some kind of spiritual contemplation. Things like meditation, discussion, all sorts. Anything you like, really, that you consider to be spiritual. If spirituality is within, then we don't actually need to consume material to develop ourselves spiritually. And this is kind of where I think maybe the new age kind of goes a bit wrong, because it's just producing loads and loads and loads of material. And, who knows what to believe, and maybe some of it's wrong and some of it's right, and you have to wade through it. But it's all just there in you, and all you're doing is finding a way to look in the mirror.
That's what I've always used for, and some of it I just literally I go, oh no, that's not me at all, and I turn my back on it again. That's it, it's done. But I've looked at I've looked at vast amounts of stuff. Some I've taken on, some I definitely haven't, and there are a lot of spin doctors in the new age, just the same as any other kind of religious or spiritual practice, I suppose. The new age has got them as well in abundance, and you just have to sort of wheedle it out and go with your own instincts, I suppose. to this stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it works. People want to make money. Now there's a God for you.